And we are live here. Welcome to episode number nine of 500 miles here today. Joining me today is Tom Luttermoser. Once again, my name is Adam Relkin, and this is the next episode of 500 miles. I do apologize again for the short notice of going live later in the week on Wednesday. I apologize for that, but we're ready to go here, and today we got Tom joining us. Thank you again for coming on, Tom. How do you feel about
Of course.
this?
Oh, it's fun. I haven't done a podcast in. I think we did one for the Daytona 500 last year. We had one of the gentlemen that wrote for us, did a lot of our digital stuff, and he was on. And I think that's the last one we did for the Bad Fast podcast that I haven't done in so long.
Yeah, but I hope we'll see more of that in the future. So for this week at Dover, I actually was there, uh, and it was a lot of fun being there. We had the three series Cup, we had three series Cup, Xfinity, and ARCA there. In the Cup race, it ended up being Denny Hamlin taking home the victory, career win number 58, fourth on the
Mm.
year, and he beat all your favorite drivers once again.
Yeah, again, is about it. Yeah.
Yeah, he beat all of your favorite drivers again, and he ended up conquering the monster for the second year in a row. Remember, he won it last year, battling Kyle Larson. This year, he had to fend off a hard-charging Chase Briscoe at the end. But there was still a lot going on into this race. Once again, as most know, this was the first race where 2311 and Front Row Motorsports were unchartered, but they had no risk of missing the field, as there was only one other open car in the field of 37, being the 44 J.J. Yaley. And I thought that this ended up, to be honest though, I kind of thought that this may have been maybe the weakest of the next gen races at Dover, as someone who's been there. I mean, I didn't think it was kind of about a mid so-so race. I mean, compared to the bangers of 2022 and 2023, like
Yeah.
it just didn't really feel like the strongest Dover race with the next gen. So, eh, kind of not really a whole lot to say, but there were still definitely things that stood out. I mean, ended up being the Chase Elliott show for a good amount of the race to start.
Yeah. It was it 240 something laps led, 250 something laps led?
I think you're right, and you also had Chase Briscoe having a fast hot rod at the start as well. There were
Yeah.
multiple other guys moving around, like Alex Bowman. I know was hard charging. Like
Mhm.
it was evident that compared to other short tracks with the next gen, that passing was possible, although a bit
Yeah.
hard. It was definitely possible, although still pretty hard. I mean, Dover is not the easiest track to pass at, but with this week, we ended up having a good win for Hamlin, and he ended up having to battle with other guys like Christopher Bell to get to the front, as well as Chase Elliott as well. Twice, yeah, twice, because coming off of pit road, he actually lost the battle to Bell,
Yeah.
and Bell ended up getting the lead. I think this was during stage two,
Yep.
if if I remember correctly. But yeah, it was interesting really seeing what was going on between Bell and Denny, especially with both race for Joe Gibbs Racing and Chase
Yeah.
Elliott. I mean, he had a strong car, but had a bit of a slower stop, and that led to people calling for Gustafson to be fired. Uh,
Again.
Again, I mean, it seemed like those calls were going away after Atlanta, but they're back, I guess, now because they made the decision to pit in stage three with the rain coming,
Hmm.
and
Which is
because
it's a strategy that realistically should have worked. I mean, dude led 238 laps, um,
yeah,
where he came out third with two guys in front of you with 70 something laps on their tires.
yeah,
Who would have thunk, you know? And it just didn't end up working. You can't be mad at Gustafson for that. It was just how it happened. It's racing.
yeah. I mean, when it comes down to that, Denny and Denny and Bell were also two of the most fastest cars all day long. I mean, you saw a guy who didn't pit, Austin Dillon, fell back. Uh, yeah,
Oh yeah.
he didn't pit either, and he fell back. So like, I think there's just a lot of factors going hand in hand. I know that there was definitely some aero blocking that was going on, especially from Denny Hamlin. Second year in a row, he kind of, in ways, won the race doing that, although not necessarily this time because we did get another caution before that could have continued when Ross Chastain spun. And being there, we ended up having a really, probably the hardest rain we had all weekend at the track because it was pouring and you could actually see it from the backstretch where I was sitting, and you could see the rain, unlike earlier where I couldn't really see it from where I was sitting.
Mm,
So you had all that rain coming down, but thankfully, because it was a quickie,
yeah, it's
NASCAR
got
had enough time to dry the track and not call the race. Again, you've got to give a lot of credit to NASCAR for this time
yeah,
deciding to say, you know what, we got to get this race in. I know there's only 14 laps, but we can do it. And
yeah.
it
That
took,
last caution for rain, 338 to 330 or 343. Um, Obviously red flagged for that. So obviously it took a lot longer than just a few laps. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it was. I agree. I would agree with what you said. Or no, that was the first one for rain. Then
yeah,
they
that
had
was the first rain yellow. That was
yeah.
the first rain yellow.
Then they got 385 to 392
Yeah,
incident on the backstretch with rain come.
yeah,
Realistically, I wouldn't have been mad at them for calling it. I mean, there's 8 laps left in the race, 12, 15, whatever it was. I mean, the fans got what they came for.
yeah.
Was it, would they have been robbed of a finish? Sure. But, I wouldn't have been mad at them for it. But I'm glad they did go. And I'm glad it was a fun couple of, fun couple of restarts there.
Yeah, and I mean it was really interesting to see Chase Briscoe try to fight his way back up to the field again, especially because I mean this kid is I mean I know he's 30 now, but this kid is incredible, and there's a reason Joe Gibbs dialed him up and got him to drive the 19 this year because this he's got so much stuff going for him. And the 19 has had great success at Dover, especially with James Small as the crew chief. Like tracks like Dover and New Hampshire, like these are the tracks where it seems like James Small seems to do the best with strategy.
Yeah. It was cool to see him stay up front for the vast majority of that race. And then obviously at the end, keep it up front.
Yeah.
Definitely interesting to see the car with 76. I think Denny said 76 laps on his tires. Ended up winning that race. Um,
Yeah.
but
And
those couple stops, the cautions. I mean, you're kind of negating that benefit. You're letting those tires cool down.
it
So
yeah. Should be noted though that Goodyear brought a new tire that they have never ran this week.
thank God
And
too.
and 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 while it was a brand new tire, the wear wasn't as strong as people were thinking it was going to be, which again, I mean, stuff takes time to test. I imagine that Goodyear's going to look at what went wrong, what went right. I mean, there was noticeable wear going on the track, which allowed for more movement, but it still seemed like it was still too hard to pass. So I don't know if Goodyear can go further with Dover or if they want to risk that, considering that what we've seen with tires at Dover and Arca, where the tires really blow out too easily there. So I don't know what the boundary for Goodyear is with Dover, but I think they are going to want to get further down the road. And the same maybe with the next gen, because fair warning, we are not even running the short track package. We've never run a different package at Dover or Bristol with the next gen car. Like, is that what maybe NASCAR could be considering going to the drawing board for next year for both tracks per se? Like, it's something that I think we should keep an eye on because they might be like, what if we do this for next year? Let's see if we can improve the racing because we know NASCAR wants to improve the short tracks to the best of their ability. Like
Yeah.
it's no secret that they're trying. It's just that I think that they're trying to take the proper steps and seeing how we can fix the racing, which
Right.
is something that we'll keep an eye on. Additionally, this week, I also noticed that the 44 was having a great run. Like he was passing guys. Like like I got to give credit to NY Racing Team and JJ Yaley because they
Yeah, I mean
were
it was fun to see him do that. I mean, obviously the broadcast doesn't show it. You got to see it a hell of a lot better than we did, um,
right.
but it was fun.
Yeah, and the 44 hasn't really had speed like this in a while. I mean, I think the only race where they this year besides Dover where they really had somewhat competitive speed would be like Nashville.
Debate. Do you like go-go's? Yes. Do you like race cars?
Yeah, the only o- the only other one. Oh.
Okay, that's about. No. Yes. Go. Oh, you're right.
It's all right, Tom. It's all right.
Um.
That was a good laugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 44, the only other race, as I was saying, the only other race where they really had that good of a run, I think, was Nashville. So
Yeah.
like, and like, I think they probably got a better engine package on that team because that 44, I'm really happy that they were starting to improve out there because they were
Yeah.
showing some great speed and they were passing both the 34 of Todd Gilliland, the 51 of Cody Ware. They almost got the 41 of Custer as well at one point. So like,
Impressive. And I mean, the 41 isn't the fastest car in the world, but it's still a car that you feel should be top 25, top 30,
yeah,
realistically, although it's not really happening.
yeah,
But he started 37th, finished 34th. That's a plus for
yeah.
JJ and
Unfortunately,
the racing.
he was trying to make it the rest of the race, but unfortunately he had to drop out because his cool suit was having issues.
Yeah.
His cool suit was having issues. He felt physically JJ could not make it. I hope we will see the 44 in more races. I know they are not entered for Indianapolis, but it's something that we are. I hope we do see JJ at say Iowa, for example. Like that would be
Oh, yeah.
cool to see them there. I'm trying to
I
remember
got
us.
their first race at the Daytona 500 2022. And it was pretty cool because nobody was too terribly sure who was going to run the car. It was it Biffle? Was it this guy? Was it that guy? Who was it? And it turned out to be Biffle, which is cool. I like Biffle. I'm a huge. I think Biffle won the first NASCAR race I ever went to.
Really?
Pretty cool. And we were there in the infield in the fan zone, and we got to see meet a bunch of drivers and stuff. And that was there before I started doing the media thing. I went with a good friend of mine, uh, and we just we had a great time. It was enjoyable, and everybody was looking at that car, and then looking at the 50 that race with
Yeah.
Kaz Grala. You remember
Kaz
the
Grau, the money
pit
team.
viper? Yeah,
Yeah, the money team now, Team Amerivet. Hope we'll see them at more races. If I go
yeah.
through, and then if I go through the rest of the results, I want to shout out some other guys for how they ran today. Not today, but this past weekend. Ty Gibbs probably had one of the greatest races of his season. In addition to his run we already saw at Mexico City, this was probably one of the greatest races for Ty Gibbs. And honestly, I think that the whole race was a battle between JGR and Hendrick because for a good
Oh
amount
yeah,
of the race, both teams with all four of their cars, they all had the top eight occupied for almost the whole race.
yeah. That's impressive because you had at one point it was what, wasn't it Bowman in third and then fourth, fifth, sixth? It was
Yeah, that was Hendrick,
and yeah, I mean it was
and then JGR was like seventh and eighth for a
yeah,
period of time. So like it was really impressive seeing how both of those teams came out strong for Dover, and it seems like this really was their weekend to do it. Additionally, and Bowman ended up finishing third as well. Like Bowman had a really great long run car. We also had a few
he had
other
the best.
finishers like the RFK cars. They ended up breaking into the top 10 at the end. Bubba Wallace, he also had a great run and a really cool Space Force car he had with Litos this week.
I was this close to making a post that was the first ever Space Force car, but it was not, so I did
Nope,
not post
no,
the second.
it was Ty Dillon in
I
Ty Dillon Martinsville 2022, I think,
Yep,
with
I forgot all
in the
about that.
40
So
in
I
the yeah, that was in the 42.
Yep.
So we also had Kyle Busch almost breaking back into the top 10 after kind of falling off. He was running in the top 10 for a good amount of the day to start, but then it seemed like he disappeared for a while, all to then almost end up back in the top 10. again. And on the radio, and this is something that I did really want to talk about on the show today, was comments from Richard Childress post race, uh,
Oh yeah.
talking to both Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon on the team radios, where he basically said, "We don't have good race." Where he said something on the lines of, "We don't have good race cars. We need to get better." And
We need damn race cars or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, it was something like that. And Richard, I mean, he's been in the sport for a really long time, and I mean, the performance from Childress has not been the same since I want to say 2023, 2022, when they had Tyler Reddick and Kyle Busch winning races. Like since last year and this year, Childress has really fallen off a cliff.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's something that a lot of people really were going to pick up on because RCR itself, they're and I know they're better than this. And Richard
Oh yeah.
Richard Childress is better than this, and like I really am curious as to what they're gonna want to change. Like I feel like that him saying that on the radio could be a wake up call to people at the team.
Oh yeah.
Like
I mean, how could it not be?
it has to
I mean,
be.
when the one of the godfathers of NASCAR essentially is what he is. When one of the godfathers of NASCAR comes out, and I got the actual quote. It's RC or no, we we need to get some real race cars. We're in trouble.
Yeah,
Um,
and
you can't argue. Excuse me. You can't argue with the guy. You can't.
yeah, and I've talked with Richard before. And I've talked to Richard himself before. He's one of the he has a clue what he's doing with his race cars,
Oh yeah.
and a lot all the time. And he's been doing this, and because he's been doing this for a really long time, he really wants something to change. I don't know if it's leadership or crews. Like Kyle Busch, I know how to stop that sent him down a few spots earlier in
Yeah.
the race. So I don't know if maybe crew may need time for a crew some crew swaps, maybe a new crew chief. I mean, Kyle's had Randall Burnett for quite a while, but I don't know if Richard is thinking about changing something up. I mean, I know Austin Dillon has seen better performance this year, but
Yeah.
Kyle Busch has gone backwards this year and
Oh
even
yeah. I mean,
further than last year. Like
fucking
Kyle,
3 wins to nothing in 2 years, basically
yeah,
2.5 years, year and a half.
yeah, and I mean Austin Dillon, and while he Dillon has been faster this year, especially with getting Richard Boswell as his crew chief. Richard Boswell, one of the greatest crew chiefs we got right now in the Cup Series, I'd honestly say. But still, like something else is not going right. Like I don't know if it's ECR engines or which Childress owns, or if it's other things like other crew members, or engineers that Richard may want to take a look at. Because, as I said, Richard Childress, I mean, he's owned a team for decades. So, like, I think if he wants to get better for the rest of the year and going into 2026, now is the time to change. And you have Kyle Busch coming back for another year next year.
Yeah.
And Kyle doesn't want next year to be a waste at all. So I think now is really the time to get everything rolling and going for Kyle and just the team itself. We also had some other good runs. Michael McDowell in 13th. He was running pretty good all day.
Solid
We
run.
Yeah, he had a solid run. The biggest story of the TNT in-season tournament is without a doubt Ty Dillon coming home with another top 20, but a lap ahead to make it into the Ty versus Ty show this week at Indianapolis.
Oh
I am so excited for that. But yeah, he ended up beating out John Hunter Nemechek by one position, but by one lap. That last caution that involved Zane Smith gave Ty Dillon the free pass and essentially a free pass to the final round of the in-season tournament.
yeah. I mean that's. I mean, you guys all saw my post or on the on our little group text chat uh, when Bell spun at Atlanta and
Yeah.
wrecked, and I just said, well, there goes my bracket because I'm sure I'm with a lot of other people. There went a lot of people's brackets, and obviously that whole race just blew it all apart. But
Boom.
I let me see if I can find my bracket.
Yeah. NASCAR
I
had
don't
also posted that no brackets were accurate from that point.
now
So
one
not
every single
one that not
one.
one that was entered. So I guess no one played Nostradamus in the in-season
Oh,
tournament. But as part of the matchups as well, Ty Gibbs ended up beating Tyler Reddick. That's how he also got here to make it to the Final Four. And
yeah.
doing the Ty versus Ty show, it's basically the modern Dale versus Dale show that we had between Dale Earnhardt, Dale Jarrett in the '90s at Daytona, because the two of them, Dale Senior and Dale Jarrett, they were both rockets at the
Oh yeah.
super speedways, and those two battling. Like, I remember Ned Jarrett coining the term, it's the Dale and Dale show. This week at Indianapolis, is it the Ty and Ty show going for the in-season tournament? Like, I don't know. I mean, I know Ty Gibbs is driving for Joe Gibbs Racing, but Ty Dillon, I mean, he's won at Indianapolis before.
It was Xfinity back in the
Yeah,
day, but he did win it.
2014.
Hmm.
And I and it's something that I don't think we should forget. I mean, the equipment may be better, but who's got the better drive at the end of the day? It's all that
Yeah, I mean,
matters. And Indianapolis had a few wrecks last year towards the end, and I don't think Ty Gibbs got caught up in any of them. But let's say he gets caught up in something, that could be the $1 million ticket for Ty Dillon to win the whole thing.
and
And
he doesn't even have to finish the race. He's just got to finish ahead of Ty Gibbs.
Ty
Ty Gibbs
Gibbs,
has a bad day. All he's got to do is have a slightly better one.
yeah, that's all that's going to matter. If I again go down the finishing results, unfortunately, there were a few guys that had issues. Like AJ Allmendinger was having a great run as well.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He was moving up really fast, and then he had some mechanical problems and a tire go wrong for him. Cody Ware, he was driving all over the place, and apparently he was having mechanical issues too. So
Yeah.
that probably explained why because I don't think the broadcast caught it. He nearly got in the wall for many laps, uh, in like 1 and 2 and in 3 and 4. He almost got in the wall multiple times. So I don't know if those mechanical issues had an effect on that, but it's something to keep an eye on. Carson Hocevar, I know he also got in the wall right where I was sitting as well. That spot, actually, multiple guys got in the wall. Riley Herbst on one of the restarts also made contact with the wall. I don't know if TNT caught it or not, but the damage was pretty visible.
Yeah, I'm sure. I did not notice the Herbst issue. Um,
Yeah,
I definitely didn't notice the Carson thing. I didn't notice. I didn't know Carson was out of that race as early until actually after the race ended.
he
Um,
came back out to
okay.
he ran a few more laps and then parked it again because I don't
Yeah,
know if it was minimum speed or if the issues came back.
he finished 302 laps.
Yeah, so he did come back out, but pulled off. I
Was
think he pulled off in the run between Denny and Bell. I think that's when he pulled off
so that's
because
was it 2 weeks in a row for Allmendinger having issues?
yeah, and that drops it. Both he and Carson Hocevar in the points because Hocevar is dropped down to 25th. I mean, that whole bubble from like I want to say 18th to like 30th, they're all really close together.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
these are guys that are all trying to fight their way into potentially making it in on points or to win it in or to win their way into the playoffs. And we only got a few races left, and these guys
Mhm.
are, and because of how competitive that field is, if you make one mistake, you're going down really far. I mean, this has happened
Yeah.
multiple times this year with that specific group of drivers.
Exactly.
They've
I mean, and if you look at 23rd up to the cut line, it's 100 points. Nemechek 100 below. Eric Jones 89 below. Allmendinger 80, which obviously that last couple of weeks did not help him.
no,
Dowell down 77. Ty Gibbs down 52. And then you get Kyle Busch down 39. Ryan Priest down 16. Those are attainable. I mean, you can very easily point that
yeah,
um, in terms of number of points. Now, let's go to the other side of that. To the positives, you got Bubba, who's 16 up. You can lose that in a heartbeat. You can lose that in one race. Buscher's down 44. I mean, that's two bad races. Uh,
yeah,
Bowman's 63 points back. I mean, that's 2 3 bad races. And then you got Reddick, who is safe at a
somewhat.
106 up. But then you get another winner, and that 156 turns into, I don't know, 50.
Yeah. But for Tyler Reddick, I would not
Yeah,
be surprised if he locks in before Daytona. I think
yeah, oh, yeah,
that even if he does not win, even if he does not win, I think Tyler Reddick at this point could be
pretty much
good
here.
to the
Yeah.
good. But everyone
Uh,
else, though, everyone else besides Tyler Reddick, you got to win your way in at this point if you want to make
yeah.
sure you're safe. Like I'm not gonna say that that guys like Alex Bowman, Bubba Wallace, or Chris Buescher are safe.
Oh,
I think that they need to win in order to ensure that they're safe at this point. Because let's say if I don't know Carson Hocevar pulls a win at I don't know Iowa, like that could really throw a hat in things.
because that car has been fast this close to winning, what, 3 times this year, two
Yeah,
times? I mean,
yeah, Bristol.
that is a car that is not unrealistically with a chance to win. Um, I mean, you've got Ty Gibbs, who obviously he can win. Kyle Busch needs a little more speed and some stuff to go his way, but I mean, we know the dude can win. He's the winningest driver in NASCAR history.
Uh,
But you got to have the
in
car behind him.
active, that is. Like I know you said,
Total,
yeah.
total,
Oh yeah,
200.
total. Right. I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about cup stats there. Yeah, I'm
I'm
sorry
that
about
guy.
that. It's all right, but yeah, I
But
think
yeah,
when it
no,
comes down to
when you
that,
get
it's
back to
something
tough
we are going to
driving,
have to watch for. In the Xfinity, and then on the Xfinity side of things for this week, it ended up going to Connor Zilisch, fourth win of the year, and this kid is impressive. I mean, I've talked about it many times on this show, but this is the number one, easily number one prospect we've got in the sport right now. Nobody can top him, and he showed it again this week. And this is his
yeah,
second win at Dover as well. He won it in ARCA last year at Dover
yeah.
as well. So
So he's unfamiliar with the track. You know,
yeah,
you can
and
say, well, it was a rain race. Okay,
but he was
but
running away.
oh yeah,
So I don't think that people should really be upset with this one. And even then, like, and I mean, there were guys that were charging for him. I mean, Eric Almirola was trying to catch him, but I don't think he was going to be able to get him, no matter what. I mean, you had guys
no,
like other guys that were fighting, like Brandon Jones, Justin Allgaier, like they all had really competitive speed, but I don't know if they were going to have anything for Zilisch. Once Zilisch got the lead from Taylor Gray, it was his time to shine, and it really was. I mean, other guys had great runs. Ryan Sieg, I think he's been
that
kind of
was
slumping as
it.
of late. He had a great run, and this was a run Ryan Sieg needed with that sixth
Oh,
place run because I think he's below the cut line in Xfinity, so he's got to get as many points as he can, and to hope that nobody else wins unless he can win, which he's really strong in Indianapolis. Maybe it's going to happen this week.
he's 30 out. So yeah,
30
not
out.
unrealistic to point his way in. Not unrealistic for him to potentially go out and get that first win.
He
I mean,
can,
he's
and
knocked on the door a couple times.
yeah, he can definitely do it. And then also, William Sawalich ended up getting his first non-road course, non-super speedway top 10 of the year. So good job, William, on that. Seems like things are starting to come to light for the 18 team because he finished in third place last week at Sonoma and finally gets a top 10 outside of road courses and super speedways. So maybe things are starting to come together for Sawalich. Like I know, I know at this point he's a must-win, but I
He's
think things could possibly be lining up for a better sophomore year for Sawalich.
he's 181 points out. So yeah, he's a must win.
He's a must-win at this point for Xfinity, but with how he's been doing now, a good sophomore year wouldn't surprise me out of William.
No, I mean, so the way I looked at him was, I mean, he obviously absolutely dominated ARCA,
Yes.
but he's in a. I talked to can't remember, it was Taylor Reef at Flat Rock, and he says, well, you know, you're racing a cup car versus what we've got, and he's not wrong. I mean, I don't care how you sugarcoat it. Charles might be mad at me for saying it, but you're racing the cup car against ARCA cars. I mean, nobody can touch him. The only guys that can touch him in speed are at certain tracks, and the cars need to be flat out wide open to be able to touch him. Otherwise, nobody can launch off corners with him. Nobody can come out of corners with the same shot. Um, And the way that the way I saw it was, when he was finally put in equipment where someone else can go compete with him, he wasn't Wonder Boy anymore. Maybe he needed to. And I like the kid. I'm not saying this because I
Oh
think he's
yeah.
bad. I don't think he's a bad driver.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
think
He's got
rude in any way, shape, or form.
yeah,
He's a great
he's
kid.
got a lot of potential.
Yeah. But I mean, he needed to get his head out of his ass and realize I'm not racing nobody anymore. I'm racing 30 cars that can easily go and potentially win this race instead of being the only one or two that can maybe do it. And I think uh, that kind of mentality can play. It absolutely can.
It definitely
Uh,
can.
Kevin Harvick on I think it was the Happy Hour podcast a year or two ago, he was talking about um, Keelan. He says, "Listen," he goes, "if he goes out and wins on the pole, I go and tell the official, he's starting in the back." He goes because the poles, because anybody can go out with the fast car and win the race. It takes talent to drive through the field, not beating and banging off everybody, knowing how to get through those situations. And William just never really had that in ARCA. Um, so now that he is starting to get back up on that totem pole of, like you said, first top 10, he's had some solid finishes throughout the season. Not a lot. Some of them were pretty, but it's unique to see what happens when the Wonder Kid goes in and competes with everybody else. Um,
Yeah.
and I know a lot of people don't like saying that. Nobody wants to say anything bad about a JGR kid, especially a JGR kid. But it is good to see him finally starting to realize that he has other cars he has to race. Uh,
Absolutely. So I think it's something definitely keep an eye out. And then also Christian Eckes, he also was able to rebound himself with a top 10 this week. The Kaulig cars were pretty slow in qualifying, so I'm glad that Eckes was able to fight his way up through the field. And then in
what is
addition,
call it?
I don't
I mean,
know.
just
I mean,
a year.
their cup program's been decent, but like I
Yeah,
don't know what happened to Xfinity. I mean, none of none of them are in the top 15 in points. I think it's Dye who's ahead of Eckes, and then Williams right behind Eckes. I think
yeah.
it's something like that. But like the Kaulig Xfinity program's got to get itself together. I mean, and I know the three of them, Williams, Eckes, and Dye. I know they all can drive really great, but something's got to give, especially after the performances we saw last year out of AJ Allmendinger and SVG in Xfinity. Like something's got to give, I think. And Christian Eckes won the regular season title last year in the Truck Series. We know he's talented.
Oh yeah. I
So,
mean,
yeah. I also noticed other guys like Matt DiBenedetto and Dean Thompson had some great runs with top 20. Little disappointed with Jake Finch, but again, this was also his very first Xfinity race in the 17. He did work his way up through the field after kind of, I guess, getting more used to the Xfinity cars. Uh, so it seemed like things were starting to come together towards the end.
yeah.
But if this race went a bit further, I think we could have seen a potential top 10 or top 15 for Finch.
Oh, absolutely.
I
He
think we
definitely
could
has fast
have.
enough car to do it, and I think the kid's got talent.
He
Um,
does. He's won here
I,
before. He won here at Dover in 2023.
yeah, I met him at Michigan International last year for the ARCA race, and good kid, nice kid. He was I sit across. Typically, I say I sit. It's like I get the same seat every year. I sit across from Chris Knight from CashFence.com. Um, and he comes over, just plops down next to Chris, starts talking to Chris, who is talking to why am I brain farting? Um, the Godfather, Dave Moody.
Dave
He's
Moody.
talking to Dave Moody, plops down, talks to them, and you know what? He's not just looking at these two guys. He's looking over at me, and he's talking to me too, which was honestly the first time I'd felt included at the media center in Michigan, um, where I wasn't like the bullpen where I'd get up and go talk to someone. Jake would like lean over and he'd kind of lean in and talk to me. And, that's a Venturini guy.
Yeah.
Venturini guys don't talk to the little guys. They want to talk to Fox. They want to talk to NBC. They want to talk to, the big guys. So that was really cool. And he was there again this year, but he ended up having to miss the race. Corey Heim raced for him. You get to see the look on his face. He was sick,
Yeah.
but it was when sorry, but when I saw that announcement that he was going to run, it was a lot of fun. I was cool. I was excited for him. And the 17 finished 17th.
Yep. So we also had, in terms of good runs, we also had Ryan Truex running at his home race, supported by the New Jersey State Police Department, or New Jersey State Police Troopers, I think it is. So that was a nice deal to see him come back for his home race. Mark Truex Jr. apparently was in attendance
He
this
was up on the
past week,
back.
but I did not see him. But there were also some other notables in that race, like Raja Karuth in the 32. He ended up qualifying in the 32 into the race on speed, as the 32 would have been sent home if we had a rain out. Thankfully, Xfinity qualifying was able to finish, and we also had there were some other notable in like LeVar Scott. LeVar Scott, I mean, I know he finished back in 28th, but he put up a great qualifying run. He was actually the fastest out of all three Alpha Prime cars.
Yes.
So I really got
Was
to give LeVar a shout out. This was his home track too, from Carneys
yep, home
Point, New
track,
Jersey.
first Xfinity race, and he qualified in an Alpha Prime.
Yeah, and he was actually the fastest out of all three of them. He was ahead of both Brennan Poole and Parker Retzlaff in qualifying. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot to go into from the Xfinity race. I know Nick Sanchez and Ross Chastain both had mechanical issues around the same time. I remember watching both of them
What that part?
before the rain caution that before the rain caution that ended the race. They were both crawling on the apron of the racetrack, and I was like, "What's going on?" And and turns out that they both were having mechanical problems. So
Yeah.
sucks for them. I mean they'll have a better chance at Indy. If I then go to the race results for ARCA, it ended up being Butterbean dominating fashion. He led all 150 laps of the race, so you got to give credit to Butterbean for that. Fourth win on the year, and finally wins on a track that we knew he really would shine at, being a short track of Dover Motor Speedway. So really happy for Butterbean, and ended up really showing what he's got. And in terms of the race results, I want to really shout out this guy, Camden Murphy, finished in second in his first race in NASCAR since I want to say 2022,
Mm-hmm.
when he ran, I think, the 30 truck at Nashville. I think it was. So I'm really happy for Camden Murphy. Really nice guy from Monster Jam. And you know who was the sponsor of that? Jake, the rapper J. Cool, through his Dreamer brand. So that was really cool to see that from him. And finishing
Oh, yeah.
second at a track where I think he's made some Xfinity or truck starts at. It's something it was just really special to see.
Oh, yeah.
Isabella Robusto also had a great run. She finished in third, and I was talking with her at Lime Rock, and I said I think luck's going to be coming to your side soon, and it did. It did this week. Ends up coming home in third, and she had a chance for the win. She was running in second for a while before Camden Murphy caught her. So like I'm really happy for Isabella, because now we're really starting to see her come out swinging with Venerini, and I hope that she continues to put up some great results, and heck, even get a win by the end of the year. I think she's got a good shot at it.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I also definitely want to shout out Timmy Hill. Timmy Hill was battling for the lead with Butterbean at one point. And this is his
So,
home track as well. Like, he's from Maryland. Like, Timmy Hill, like, and this was his first race since his really hard crash at Rockingham. I got to
yeah.
give him credit. Timmy is such a fun guy.
Yes, he is.
So I'm just really happy that he put up some great results. I believe he finished in sixth.
Mm.
Yeah, he did finish in sixth. Uh, we also have we also had Zachary Tinkle with another top 10 run, and for fast track, Andrew Patterson, he had a great run in the 40. But like there was a really scary moment going on in the race early on with Brent Cruz, where
Yeah, we had big fire, yeah.
the tire
On
hits the
fire, yeah.
wall, and then the car catches on fire really badly. And from where I was sitting, it looked like a nuclear bomb went off. So I was really scared. I talked to Brent after the race. I asked him, "Are you okay?" He said, "I'm fine," but that had to just be a really scary experience, and it just shows you how these things really can turn around for you. So I'm just glad
Yeah.
Brent's all right. I hope we'll see Brent. We will be seeing Brent back soon. And I think now would be a good time to transition into this upcoming race weekend at
Mhm.
Indianapolis, both IRP and Indianapolis. So for this week, all four series are running. For ARCA will be race. We'll start from the bottom and go to the top. We'll start with ARCA, who's running Friday afternoon. The Circle City, excuse me, it is not that anymore. It is now the Luna 150.
Yes,
Uh,
presented by boy.
Dutch boy. There are 35 cars entered, which means that we will have one car that will go home unless somebody withdraws from the field. So we will have a DNQ. I'm going to go through some of the notable entrants, such as Lainey Buis, who is returning. Nice to see her back. She races full time in the Cars Tour for Lee Pulliam, I believe. Michael Clayton in the five again. This is a nice and Cadence Davenport. Nice to see her back again. Hope she can have a good run. Surprised to see Coney Dennison in the nine again. He's actually pulling double duty. We'll talk about the truck race later on as well. We also have Tony Cosentino in the 10. Brent Cruz, I just mentioned him. He's back in the 18. Mason Mitchell, he's back in the 25. I think this is going to be like his first start at IRP in probably a decade.
Yeah.
And then Quinn Davis driving the 31. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention. The 31, unfortunately, did not make it to the race, which I don't know if that's going to jeopardize their A plan status in ARCA or not, but they could give an exception. I'm pretty sure they gave one to Brad Smith last year after he had to withdraw from, coincidentally, Dover as well. So as long as the 31 team can make an effort to get to the rest of the season, they might be able to get an exception and stay on the A plan. So something to just keep an eye out in terms of the owner points battle. Uh, there's also on the entry list Patterson again this week. Also, Thad Moffitt returns. I know he had to scale back to a part time schedule after starting the year planning to race full time. Nitro Motorsports bringing two cars, along with Sam Corey, who some may remember from the Road to Indy program when he ran in USF 2000 a few years ago. So nice to see him getting a chance. And then I'm excited for this deal. Presley Sora in the 67. This is a great guy. And this
Oh
is
yeah.
his home race. So I'm really looking forward to what Presley can do in that 67. There's also the return of Regina Servent in the 68.
Yep.
Nice to see her back. She had a good debut at Michigan. Brian
Very
Finney
good.
also returns in the 69. I think this is going to be his first race in ARCA since 2020. Connor Mosack also pulling double duty. I didn't expect that. Guessing he's trying to get some more seat time for the race. We also have the return of City Garage Motorsports with Becca Monopoly. Doug Miller also entered in the 86 for club racing. That should be a fun debut. I love Doug Miller's look, by the way. If you look at him, he looks all exactly like Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Yeah, he's got that look to him. I like, and he's a good
Yeah,
dude too,
yeah,
which obviously doesn't hurt anything.
yeah. I love that about Doug Miller, so that's something to really look forward to. There's also the two Man Motorsports cars with Hunter Wright and Jackson McLaren. A little bit of an oddity here as Dale Shearer is not driving his own 98 this week. It is actually Mike Basham in the car, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'm guessing maybe it's an effort to try to get the car a better shot of making the field, as Mike is usually a good qualifier.
Mm-hmm.
So those are like pretty much all the notable entrants in the field. If I
You
then
gotta
go
have
to the truck,
Alex
yeah,
Club's in there.
yeah, hope it goes better for him. He's shown some more speed on these short tracks, so I'm hoping it
Oh,
ends up being a good run for him because I know Dover did not go the best for him. In addition, we then also talk about the truck entry list. We also have Brent. Oh yeah, Brent Cruz is pulling double duty. He's running in the truck race as well in the one for Tricon Garage, so that should be fun.
mm-hmm.
Cody Dennison, I mentioned double duty as well with Rayome. Jason Alexander is in the 02 truck this week for Young's Motorsports. He's got the colors from Constant Contact, so
Yeah, you
Constant Contact, I know a bunch of people who still use it, so it's still around, guys. Uh, for those who thought it died, it's still around. Constant Contact's still here. Norm Benning, love to see him back again with the six truck. Hope he can make it the full race. We also have Butterbean pulling in another truck start after he made a few last year. This time driving for Spire Motorsports. Corey Day also returns in the seven truck. If I go down the list, this is an entry I was not expecting. Jordan Anderson in the 20 truck in the second
Yeah,
Young's Motorsports.
that caught my attention.
Yeah, that caught my attention too. That surprised me as well. Like Jordan has not run a truck race since 2022 when he had that really scary accident at Talladega. So I'm curious how this came together. We also have, yeah, 2022 at Talladega was his last start in trucks. AJ Waller also returns to the 22 truck. Nice to see him back. This is also the debut of, or so-called return of Van Elst Motorsports. Greg
Yep.
Van Alst returns with his team. They're going to be running about 4 truck races this year, starting this week at IRP. So curious to see how that goes, because it's his home track. I imagine Greg's going all in with this truck. I mean, he's got all his guys back from the ARCA team, so we'll see how that goes. Ross Chastain, this is a surprising one. Like Ross Chastain, the 44. I'm kind of curious as to why he's running the truck race because Cup isn't running at IRP. So like, I'm kind of a little curious as to what's going on there. But Chastain, I think it'll still be fun for him. I think
Yeah,
he just wants to run. Luke Fenhouse also in the 66 truck. It is not listed on the entry list right now, but the 74 truck for Mike Harmon will be driven by Boston Oliver, I think his name is. Yeah, from Tennessee. So we'll see how he does. But those are pretty much all the notable entrants for the truck race. So for IRP, I think that for both of these races, I believe the ARCA race has also been shortened to only 150 laps from 200 last year, which might have been because the race last year kind of cut too close to the truck race, if I had to guess. So I think that's something else to potentially keep an eye on. And
yeah,
I kind of wish that the race was still 200 laps, but if it's going to clash with the if it's going to clash, I think that it's possible they want to make sure things don't get too stretched out. So, in addition, we also have the Xfinity Series at Indianapolis. Amongst the notable entrants include Logan Bearden in the 07. Uh, and this came as a surprise. Kyle Larson is in the 17,
yes.
and he is
When did
also
they have
racing.
that? Pretty recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just announced, I think, on Monday that he was even
Oh,
doing this race because he was supposed to be in the CW booth for this race. So I'm guessing something changed last minute. But nice to see Larson run. And he's running the special scheme that he ran for the Indy 500 and the
yeah.
doubleheader scheme. Yeah, he's running that for both Xfinity and Cup this week. Almirola also running in the 19. He almost won this race last year. I think he's got another shot at it this year. If I go down the
That's
list, this is the last scheduled start for Catherine Legg in the 32,
yep.
uh, in Xfinity at least. And we also have a driver change on the 35. It is going to be driven by David Starr this week. So
Is
that was just changed on the NASCAR app. So David Starr will be driving the number 35 for Gase this week, and he will be in the field as there are only 38 cars entered for the Xfinity race. So unlike the unfortunate double Gase DNQ last week, both the 35 and 53 will make the race. So happy for both of them. Mason Massey also returns to the 45. Joey Gase is in his own 53 this week. And then the 74 also is back with Dawson Cram. So nice to see the Mike Harmon Xfinity team returning again and getting a chance to make the race. Because I know they've skipped many races where they felt they couldn't make it, but
yeah.
now this is their chance to make it. They got an open field, and they will race on Saturday. So it should also be noted that the Xfinity race is also going to be running the same package they ran last year.
That was fun.
I thought it was too, and I was there as well. So
I tried, couldn't get it, couldn't make it happen. But yeah, that was a fun race. So if they're running the same package, we should be in for
I think it'll go good. I
yeah,
like, and I mean that battle between Riley Herbst was incredible driving on Herbst's behalf. I mean, I would love for Herbst to try to go back to back and defend his title, but at the same time, focusing on Cup, and maybe this time it's Almirola's revenge to win it. So
yeah,
I think maybe Eric Almirola wants to come out and revenge because he had it on the last lap, and then Riley Herbst got it done in turn four. So I think that Almirola wants redemption from last year, so he's going to try and go out and get it. Now, for the
yeah,
Cup side of things, we have 39 cars. Uh, there are three other open cars. Keyword other open,
yeah.
as we also have the 62 of Jesse Love, the 66 of Josh Bilicki, and the 78 of Catherine Legg. This was not a scheduled race for Catherine Legg, but now she will be racing in the Indy 5, excuse me, the Brickyard 400. I almost caught myself there.
Just this week, I've done that twice.
Oh my God. But you know what? I'm really happy for Catherine. And I mean, this is where I think she really wanted to run a NASCAR race at the most,
Yeah,
knowing
all in.
Catherine. And should also be noted that Cookie Monster is giving the command to fire engines this week for the Brickyard 400. So that'll be fun. I imagine, as Bob Pockris joked, Oscar the Grouch is going to be the first person to disapprove of it. And Cookie Monster, I know, is also supposed to make an appearance in the media center at Indianapolis,
Yeah,
according to Jeff Gluck. So that's going to be kind of fun.
I love it and I hate it at the same time.
Yeah, I've seen some people. Some people are complaining about it, but we had Gonzo do the command at Auto Club one year from the Muppets, so like it's not much of a difference. It's not like this is anything new. I mean,
But like,
there was a video from NASCAR Man, I think he posted from 1993, I think, where Elmo waved the green flag at some race. I think it was like that Sportsman series that ran at Charlotte that Humpy Wheeler helped organize. I think it was that series.
okay,
Yeah, there's a video from I think NASCAR Man of that. So
I'm
it's not
all
like
that.
this. It's not like this is new territory, but it's still kind of funny though to see. But yeah, I think uh I think in terms of what was I gonna say? And because of talking about open teams again, I want to get to this next thing. NASCAR has also changed the rules on how open teams make the race, mostly to be a safety net for 2311 and front row,
Yeah,
because I think what NASCAR's and while there is not a risk for them to miss the race, I think NASCAR wants to put up a safety net in case at say Daytona in August, if we were to get more than 40 cars, one of those cars were in DNQ territory, they could be at risk. Like for example, the rule is that the fastest six, the top six in owner points amongst the
done.
open teams are locked into the field, and then the other four will battle for provisionals. So
Yeah,
there are only three battling for four provisionals, so they all will make the field no matter what. But it's something that was put in place because with this whole lawsuit between NASCAR and 2311 and Front Row, NASCAR is probably saying to themselves, "Oh, if they miss the field in a race, we're going to look bad in the lawsuit." So,
you know they're just covering their asses. See, that's I mean, they're not doing it out of the kindness of their heart. They're covering their asses because if they were to miss a race, then just like you said, yeah, I mean, you're proving their point. If we're not chartered, it is detrimental to our race teams.
yeah,
Um,
and
you miss one race, and now you're potentially missing 60 points. Um, you're missing.
playoff chances, like,
Yeah, I mean, Bubba spins out. He's out. He's done. Unless he wins a race, he's done.
yeah,
Um, you get. I mean, Herbst is obviously Herbst, but Reddick. Reddick can potentially lose that. You get one bad race, like I said, there go, and you can't enter Daytona. There goes potentially 50, 60 of those points that you have in that 100 and what I say it was 164 points up or something like that.
Yeah.
Have a couple bad races, boom, you're gone. You're out of the playoffs.
So it's something that really is going to be looked into and this is why I think they also changed part of the rules towards the end of last year, where they said, "Oh, you now can sue us, but you have to be open. You have to be an open team in order to sue us." Instead of saying you can't sue us no matter what. I think they also did the same thing with that because NASCAR knows that if we lose Michael Jordan, we lose a lot of fans in the sport. We have to at least let them run as open teams no matter what. So I think that kind of is what goes hand in hand here because they know because NASCAR doesn't want to lose Michael Jordan. That's the number one thing I think that's coming out of this lawsuit for NASCAR's side of things. They don't
Oh
want
yeah.
to lose Michael Jordan, but they know that but they still want them to play by their rule book. So I think it's something that is a thing to keep in mind. And the biggest news from today is easily the announcement of San Diego.
Going racing on a naval base for the first time in history.
Should be noted this is not the first time we have raced on an airport. I think the last time was in the 1950s, I think.
It was the 50s. Was it Langdon or
Linden Airport in New Jersey. It was
Linden Airport.
Linden Airport in New Jersey. So not the first
And it
time
was
that
won by a
NASCAR's
Jaguar.
Yeah, so not the first time we've done this. So we're going to be racing in San Diego at the Coronado Naval Base on Father's Day weekend next year, and it is expected that and we are also bringing all three national series. We are bringing the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, and the Truck Series to Coronado for this race weekend, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And
Oh yeah.
it's a big warm welcome back for all the SoCal fans that may have been missing out with with losing Auto Club and the LA Coliseum. So I think
Yeah.
it's great to welcome them all back again with San Diego. So now, there is talk about what's going to happen with the schedule now, and we have talked about the schedule rumors multiple times on this show in the past. But we know that it was just announced that the Chicago Street Race will not be returning for 2026. So it is possible that this race is going to be replacing that. But we have also heard at the same time that Mexico City might be gone for
Yeah.
2026. But but then we
The
also
race
hear,
is replacing the Mexico City race,
yeah,
and then potentially Chicagoland could replace Chicago.
yeah, we've heard that as well, although it did come out today that they are looking at for the foreseeable future. So that may have to wait until 2027.
Yeah.
So my guess is that Mexico City will remain if Chicagoland does not get that spot on the calendar. So I think it's something to look into. But from what we have gathered as of late from puzzle pieces, it seems like that Mexico City will be moving to either Fox's or TNT's schedule if they stay on the calendar.
Because this is going to be the final race on Prime Video.
I
The
no, no, I think
race.
it's no because that weekend was the fourth race for Prime this year.
It
Yeah,
said, yeah, let me
yeah,
go back to that
Yeah,
race.
that weekend last year, because that's the same weekend Mexico City was, which was the fourth race. So if Pocono remains in its same place on the calendar, that will be the last prime race for next year again. If Pocono remains in its same place on the calendar, unless they change something else around that I'm not aware about, but but I think it's going to be the fourth race for prime next year with San Diego, if as long as what I'm saying holds up. But we do know it is going to be on Amazon Prime, so that should be a lot of fun. Like
Oh yeah.
and knowing Prime, they're going to definitely try to get the best camera angles that they can for this race. I mean, they did it at Mexico City with that being a new track. So Mexico City, there's a lot of talk on when that could be if it returns. Like there's talk that it might be part of TNT's uh, it might be part of TNT's slate. It might be part of Fox's slate. There was apparently talk of doing like a mid-April race or a doubleheader with IndyCar,
Mhm.
But apparently Roger Penske did not want to do that. Now IndyCar is looking at running at Mexico City in July. And on the IndyCar side of things, there's a lot of talk about their schedule. There's talk that
Yeah,
Iowa might be losing both of their dates and not just one of them. We talked about it last week about Mexico City potentially taking one of the Iowa dates. So it's something that we are going to have to keep an eye on. And there's new rumors that Richmond might be taking one of the Iowa dates for IndyCar, the other one, depending on what
so I just
happens.
pulled up the press release. This will Coronado will be the final race on Prime Video's 5-race broadcast window for 2026. Xfinity will air on CW, of course, and then Crash Truck Series will be broadcast by Fox Sports.
So I guess they're changing the schedule around for Prime. Yeah, it's possible that Prime's schedule might be moving up, if I had to guess, or maybe Fox's schedule might be slimming a bit. Like that's what that's kind of what that seems to imply because maybe Prime is starting with the All-Star race next year
Right.
because or I'd have to look at a calendar for 2026 again, but from what it seemed, but if that's going to line up because Father's Day weekend this year was the fourth race of their slate with the Mexico City weekend. Pocono
Yeah.
took their last slate. So maybe Pocono is going earlier in the year, or maybe, as I mentioned, Pocono could maybe be moving to TNT's in-season tournament potentially, which that'd be interesting to see Pocono in there. So I think that it's possible that things are going to be changing around there with the schedule in that, especially in that June, July area. I think that's where the bulk of the changes of the schedule is going to be for next year.
Yeah.
So that 4th of July weekend, I am curious who's going to get that now. Like some are thinking that Atlanta could get it. Some think that Chicagoland is going to get it if that returns. Something Mexico City could go during that weekend. Like a lot of people think that this and this can happen, and it really is something to keep an eye out on. I also wanted to talk about some of the other rumors that we have heard. Uh, it also came out today that there's talk of Colleague apparently looking at a truck team, like and Spire doing an Xfinity team. I don't really know a whole lot about that, but like
Yeah.
some accounts I know mentioned it. I mean, I don't really. I mean, the only way I could really see Spire going into trucks would be bringing Raja up with them if there's no room at JRM, or maybe being where Corey Day could go for a full year in Xfinity. Like, it's something that, like, if Hendrick doesn't want to do a full year in Xfinity, they may say go to Spire. So maybe that could be where that's lining up.
I'm honestly surprised they haven't done a full year, although this is the busiest years they've had.
Oh, for sure.
So could it be a build up to a full season, whether it be with a full time driver or just running a full season to get owners points?
I think that's what I think that's what could potentially be happening. And then also, it should also be noted that that as part of the San Diego deal, that the track is supposed to be 3 miles,
Mhm.
but we have not seen the track yet. I know there was a picture that has gone around of the track layout, but from what we've been told, that is not the final layout. The layout for that is not expected to be announced for a few months. So I think they're going to be changing things around with the layout at San Diego. So it's something we're
Yeah,
going to definitely be watching for. But I
I'm
and
not a big fan
also
of that layout. So when they said that that wasn't official, I'm like, okay, cool. It'd be really cool to get some more shots of those cars going down the bay. Um, but if you look at that, you're really only getting quarter, half mile, third mile, somewhere in that range of cars going by the water. Um, I heard
so
a rumor that potentially they're going to tweak it so that there's more dock space that is going to be by the track, so
I
that
think so.
members of the U.S. Navy can look down from their ship and watch the race, which would be without question one of the most badass shits you'd ever see. but now obviously there's safety, security protocols that had to be,
Put in
in place,
place.
something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
because it's a Navy base. This and it's the
exactly.
200. It's part of the 250th
It,
year
yep.
of the United States of America, so it's
Yep.
something that they really want to put into account for. So I did also. So it's something that we definitely got to keep an eye on in terms
Oh,
of San
absolutely.
Diego because the layout is going to most likely be changing. And Ben Kennedy also said earlier today that the schedule is expected to be released in a few weeks. So I know NASCAR wants to get the schedule out as quick as they can. I know a few years ago it took them until I think November to get it out. So
Yeah, they like I was about to say they've been saying that forever. I'm not going to hold my breath. Do I hope it comes out in 2-3 weeks? Absolutely.
a
But
few
I'm honestly not going to hold my breath on that one. I
a,
really won't.
a few years ago it did come out earlier than
Yeah.
expected. So they could definitely be holding truth. I mean, so but they definitely do intend to have it out soon.
Yeah.
I and then this is something else that kind of came to my attention, and this is kind of annoying to see happen. Wish people could get along on this. Uh, there was a beef between I think it was Daniela Trotta and Larry McReynolds, where
Where everybody thought he was ripping on Mark
Mark
Martin,
Martin,
and supposedly he was ripping on Denny.
yeah, apparently he was ripping on Denny, but from what from what everyone was spinning it, people were spinning it to him criticizing Mark Martin, but at the same time,
Yeah.
what Larry was saying and what Daniela was saying, it still wasn't the right move for me, and it just felt
No,
unprofessional. Like
I don't
I
care who
think,
you're talking about, whether it be Denny or Mark. They're guaranteed. I mean, Mark's obviously in there. Denny's a guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer. Guaranteed. I don't care how many championships dudes won. Um, he is on the conversation for greatest of all time. You should not sit there and say, "Well, he don't have a championship." No, sorry, I
yeah,
love you, Larry. I sat there and talked to Larry in the um, what do you call it, the athletic club in Chicago when we were getting our credentials. I love you, Larry, but shut up, dude. I mean, you can't say that about a driver. You just can't.
no,
Period. I don't care if it's Mark.
absolutely
I don't
not.
care if it's Denny. And I'm sure that some of your listeners will get all that's trippy. I'm sure some of your listeners will get all butthurt by me defending Denny Hamlin or telling Larry to stop. I mean, the dude's won 58 Cup races. He is 2 away from top 10 all time. He's not going to stop at 2. He's not. He will pass Kevin
He's
Harvick.
gonna pass.
I
So
mean,
yeah, it kind of bums me a bit that Larry would do this because this is not
yeah.
the first time he's done this. He did this when the whole
No.
lawsuit happened, and he was
Yeah.
like when the lawsuit happened. Like I just think that I mean I like Larry Mack. He's a nice dude, but
Oh, absolutely.
you can't like Larry like that was just really unprofessional. Like you and Daniela too. You both got to apologize to. I would say apologize to both Mark and Denny, even if you didn't intend
Yeah.
to insult Mark. Like Mark Martin has because there was a big fight on Twitter between and social media between Daniela and Mark after that, and it just this is not what I want to see happen within our sport. Like I want everyone to just get along and negotiate on good terms. I'm glad that NASCAR does have a committee for the playoff format. Like there's about I think it was mentioned on Mike Ford's Holler Talk. There's about 30 people on that committee. Denny Hamlin is apparently part of that committee. I know
Yeah.
Mark Martin is apparently on that committee as well, although apparently Larry Mack and Daniela did not know he was on that committee until yesterday. But I think that but I'm glad that NASCAR is willing to have people say in a room say, "How can we fix this?" "Hey, I have an idea," or "Hey, I have another idea." Like I'm glad NASCAR is doing that because they know something we can work something out better. It doesn't have to be a full season format. They just want it's everyone in that room I think should come to an agreement that this idea is the best possible one and not the one we've been using for a while. That's what it kind of seems like they want to do. So I think in terms of getting a full season format. It's not as likely as everyone wants it to be, but I do think that you could perhaps get more less of the winner take all situation.
Yeah,
From what I've heard, the playoffs are going to stay, but from what I've heard, it is
it will.
expected to be like to go down to 3 rounds. And
Which, I mean, it has to be.
yeah, from what I've heard, it's gonna go down to 3 rounds, and it's gonna be about a 3 or 4 race final round,
Which
which
it needs to be because I mean, the way I look at it is, when they announced that there was no cutoff for qualifications on the championship format, what was that last year or the year before when Chase got hurt, and they said, well, any driver doesn't matter all the way to the back. There's no top 30 or top 25 or any of that, and
yeah,
I think that's ridiculous. Was it awesome as hell to see
Harrison Burton.
Harrison Burton get hit? Um, Now, I think, caveat to this year, Shane Van Gisbergen's got 3 wins. Lock his ass in the playoffs. I don't care if he is 35th.
He's
He's
in the
got
top
three.
30 now.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm a firm believer in maybe it should be the top 20. Maybe not in the top 15 because we got 16 drivers, but, top 20. I don't like the idea of a 25th place driver who has had 2 decent runs that saved his ass into the top 25, or some drivers above him having some bad luck, being able to lock himself in at Daytona. But I love the idea of doing maybe some less rounds, and if not less rounds, then maybe shorter rounds, and then add multiple races to the championship.
Yeah, it's something that I think should definitely be looked into. One more, another thing I want to bring up is that Christian Eckes will be running. Is that a is that as a tribute to Shiggy Hattori? Uh, McAnally has reopened a fifth truck, which will run 2 races with Christian
The
Eckes
16.
behind the wheel, the 16
Yep,
truck, and they are picking that number as a tribute to Shiggy Hattori. And this is
absolutely.
the number that McAnally has used for a really long time out on the West Coast. So
Yes.
it's definitely sad to not see Hattori anymore in the truck series, but I'm glad that at least they are keeping the legacy alive and paying
No,
tribute.
absolutely.
And
Um,
this
and
is gonna,
I love the fact they did that too. I really did.
yeah, I believe he's racing at Richmond and New Hampshire in the truck series.
I believe
And
correctly.
then one more thing to wrap up, and one more thing before we go off. So this is something that just came to my attention about an hour or two ago. NBC, and this could potentially have implications on NASCAR's broadcasting uh, as part of their broadcasting deal. NBC, Universal, or Comcast is discussing, and this is from Adam Stern. They are discussing launching a sports cable network again, just like they had NBCSN up until I want to say 2021. So if that happens, if they do relaunch it, that could perhaps have implications on
Oh
who
yeah.
gets the rights to such races. Like if we have a reboot of NBCSN, I'd imagine that some races from USA in future years in the deal could be transferred to that relaunching of a network.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and I know USA has the majority of the races as well on as part of NASCAR's deal with NBC for this 7-year deal. But
Mhm.
I think it should be definitely something to consider with because perhaps they may want to split the races or perhaps give all of USA's slate under their belt to NBCSN or whatever it would be called again. Because I imagine they may want to do something new.
Probably want to do something new. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could also have changes to say, and I think Fox does have the rights to the truck broadcast through
Yeah.
2031, but it could result in changes to perhaps say maybe they want to air like an ARCA race or two in the future after their deal with Fox is done. Maybe they want to put an ARCA race on on whatever this new NBC network would be, or perhaps they put a wheel and modified race on there. This used to happen where I think they did put on some I think it was some East and West races went on to NBCSN at one point in the 2010s. I think a few of the wheel and modified races went on there as well. I think it's something we should keep an eye on. I mean, is anything going to change for this year or next year? Probably not.
No, probably
Absolutely
not.
not. We're probably not going to have anything change with NBC's schedule for next year either. But it's possible that maybe, say, 2027, 2028, maybe some of the races that USA would have go to this new network. So that's going to pretty much be the end of this episode of 500 Miles. Again, it was great having you on, joining me this week, Tom. So I'm really happy to have the boss on this week. So for this week, so for next week, we're going to be wrapping up Indianapolis, talking about how perhaps that goes. Will Ty Dillon become the ultimate Cinderella story? I hope so.
You think he does it?
I hope. I mean, I think he's got a shot.
Now, what do you got? Yay or nay?
I'm going to go Ty Dillon beats Ty Gibbs. I'm just going to go with it.
I'm going with it too.
Yeah. I mean, it could happen. I mean, people were doubting that he was going to beat John Hunter Nemechek, and he did.
Yeah.
He did it. So I think Ty Dillon's going to do it. And, is Kyle Larson going to get redemption on the double not going his way again? Maybe. If Kyle Larson can win this week at Indianapolis, I'd say it's redemption from the double not going right this year.
Yeah.
So I hope the best for him. I hope the best for really anyone in the field. But will Denny go and beat our favorite drivers again this coming week? It's possible as well. So that's going to be it for this. Yeah, he's
pretty hard, but he's won there before.
So that's going to be it for this week, guys. Again, my name is Adam Relkin, joined by my boss at Seriously Fast Motorsports, Tom Luttermoser. And I'll be seeing you guys next week. So nice seeing you guys today. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night, guys.